Oh, hello. Welcome into my workshop and welcome to the show Creations of Clay. My name is Louis Palladini, and tonight I'd like to do an animal that everyone is very familiar with. It lives in Africa, and it's a crocodile. And I want to show you how to do that from start to finish. And they're a very interesting animal. They're very similar to an alligator, and I want to show you the difference between an alligator and a crocodile. You see this snout right here? It looks like a V. I have the alligator I did several weeks ago, and I want to show you, see how the alligator snout is more like a U up here, and you see that the U shape, and then the crocodile has got the V shape for the snout. And that's what the difference is between those two animals. That's the most significant difference. I will show you the types of clay that we can use. There's an oil-based clay such as this, which never hardens. And I used to use this all the time when I was a kid. It was great clay to use. Once I get bored with something, just take it and just roll it up in a ball again and make something new. There's also an air hardening clay which can be bought in any art store. This hardens like in a couple of hours or overnight, and then you can paint it. And it's good because it's permanent, but you just can't reuse it. My preference for the clay is a clay called Super Sculpey, which can be fired in the oven at 275 degrees for 15 or 20 minutes. You can drill it, sand it. You can make a tremendous amount of detail, and it's great for working like with armatures and things. We have used some simple armatures. You can put the clay over it and make it in the shape you want. It's really cool. The size balls clay that we will be using tonight are, this is what we'll use for the body of the crocodile and the head. And I'll show you the shape that we're going to make. I'll show you before with the model before we make that shape. Then for the legs, we're going to have these 4 smaller balls of clay about this size, and those are going to be used for the legs. And then finally, we're going to have these 2 small balls of clay here. These are going to be the eyes, and I will show you how to do those. What we first proceed to do is we're going to make the body. We're going to make the head here, and the body, and the tail. And just think of this without the legs on it, and the eyes. And I'll show you how to make this shape. What we're going to do is I'll pick up the clay here, and what we want to do is kind of squeeze it, lengthen it out. See, I'm kind of squeezing it with my hands. It almost looks like a potato now. But then at one point, for the tail, we want to kind of like pull on it like this. See how I'm pulling that? Kind of pulling that down from all angles, and then starting to make a point. See that? And just kind of work that like that. Just kind of pull and squeeze it, and see how the tail is forming? See how I'm doing that? Do that. We'll start to, and then what I want to do is work the body a little bit, and then start to squeeze this in a little bit like that. See how you can start to see the head forming here. And I'm just kind of pulling that. I'm going to pull that and make that into the V shape for the snout of the crocodile. See that? See how that's just, we squeeze it like that, flatten it out a little bit. Then we're making that V shape. See how we're doing that? And then just kind of squeeze like that. See how that's coming about? And then we'll make the body of the crocodile. See how I'm just kind of squeezing it from all sides to create that shape for the body. See that, how it's, and I'll show you the finished one that's unpainted. See how that's starting to look almost similar to this one? And I'll continue to show you how to develop this. So we got that. And I just want to just work it a little more. Make sure we get that correct shape. just like that. So this is what it looks like from the top. That's what it looked like from the side. And this is what it will look like from the bottom. So we'll just want to straighten that out. I want to show you how to make the tail next. I'll show you on the other model. The tail here, what we're going to do is, see the tail here? It has kind of like a ridge here, a ridge on the other side, and then some like scales here. So I'll show you how to do that. We're going to take and pinch the clay to kind of create that. And I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to take the, let's see, I want to see, make sure we have that. So on this here, on the tail, I'm going to kind of squeeze it a little bit like this. Pinch it and kind of pull it out a little bit, like this. See how that's starting to pull out? We're going to do that probably about to that much of the tail. And I'll proceed to do that on the other side also. Just like that. And then, see how that's forming nicely? Just like that. And then on this part of the tail, I'm going to pull this up a little bit, and I'll show you. We're going to take the toothpick, and we're going to make some ridges. Pull up like that. See how I did that? See, it's got the nice ridges, the nice ridge there. Then you get the nice ridge here. And then you got like a little ridge here. What we're going to do is we're going to take a toothpick now, and we're going to take and just kind of make like little indentations here like this. See how I'm doing that? Just do that. Make little indentations. And then for the last part of the tail, just make little indentations here to make those nice little ridges. I'll move that so you can see how we're doing that. And then we'll proceed to do that on the other side here. So I'm going to take this, just make the ridges. It's a really cool effect. It's something simple that you can do, basic, but it gives it a really nice effect. And then what we want to do is we want to make some scales here. So what I'm going to do is make some lines, go across like this. See, I'm making the lines like that, just like that. And we'll go down to about there. I just want to make a few more lines. And then we're going to come back across like this and make the scales this way. See how I'm making that line? Very simple way to make the scales. Just make that. Very nice effect. See how we get the nice little scales there? And then what I want to proceed to do is make the scales on the back here. So we're going to take and we're going to make lines like this. See how I'm taking that and going down. And then we're going to proceed to make another line right next to it with the toothpick. And then we're going to, just like that. This is a very simple way to make the crocodile scales. We're going to just make a couple more lines. And then what we want to do is we're going to take, I just want to make these a little longer. Just make sure. So now we're going to take and go across like this. Like that. just like that. Just go right across like that. And I think I'll add one more line here. And we'll just make some lines across here to kind of make those scales. Then I want to see on the other side if I need to do another line. I think I will. I'm looking here. So what we're going to do is take, see I'm going right along like that. We'll just kind of make the scales like that. So I'm just making the lines. It's just a very simple way to make the crocodile scales. And then I think the next thing that we want to do is we want to create the mouth. So what we can do is we can do one of two things. We can take this, if we want to make the mouth, see how I'm just kind of taking this here? And you can kind of push that in to create the mouth. And I think I'll take that and push it through to the other side. And then I want to make sure, see how I'm doing that? Taking this and kind of pushing it through. So we've made the jaw. Very simple way to make the jaw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it closed. Just like that. And then I want to proceed to do the eyes. And I'll show you the eyes on the crocodile right here. We're going to make that. And then we're going to make the same one on the other side. And then I'm going to take the toothpick and make like a hole for the eye. And I'll show you how to do that. So we'll proceed to take this clay here. And we're going to take and place it right about here. See that? We're going to place that on there. So what I want to do is pull it down on this side. And kind of pull it down on this side. And then the top, just kind of work it in like that. And then what I wanted to also do is kind of work it from this side. See how that is? It's the point before we're going to make the eyeball. And what we're going to do is take the toothpick now and take and put that in there like that. And just kind of rotate it around a little bit. Just like that. See how we just made that eye? And I'm going to proceed to make the eye on the other side. So I'm going to take this ball of clay here. I'm going to place it on here. And then, like I said, pull it down from both sides. See, and then go work it in like that. And then we're going to kind of pull it down a little bit like that. See how the eye looks? You want them in approximately the same location. Try to keep them in the same location. And what I'm going to do with this eye now on the other side is I'm going to take the toothpick and put that in there and rotate it around a little bit. And then one of the other things that we want to do is I always keep a little spare clay on the side. I want to take a little piece of clay like this. Let me see. I think it might be too big, what I've just grabbed right now. And I'm going to take a little piece of clay about this size right here. I'll try to put it in my hand so you can see the size. Like that. And we're going to put that on the top of the snout right here. See, I just put that in the top of the snout. And what we're going to do is just kind of work that in a little bit, because that's where the nostrils are going to go. Take the toothpick. See that? I put that in there. And then you take and put it right there. So see that? And then you got the head of the crocodile now. And another thing that we want to do is we want to make the legs and the feet. So I'll show you what we're going to proceed to make next. Here's the crocodile's leg, and then we're going to make him with the little toes right here, with 4 little toes. I'll try to show you. See, they're probably easier to see on this side. See that, the 4 little toes? And that we'll put those on the feet. Because prior to that, on the alligator, I had showed you a different method where I just made the little indentations here for the feet. But tonight I wanted to show you something a little different so you can use this new technique with the feet. And I'll show you what to do now. You're going to take this ball of clay here, and you're going to just kind of work it like this. You almost think of almost like a little boomerang or something. See the shape that I'm making? And then what we're going to do is I'm going to take and flatten this foot out like this. Make it like almost like a little pancake. See, I'm flattening that out. I'm flattening that out. And I'm going to proceed, that's going to be one of the front legs. I'm going to proceed to make the other one. So take this ball of clay here and just kind of work it. Just like that. Almost think of like a little boomerang. See the shape that I just made? And then you're going to make the foot. Just going to flatten that out like that. And now we're going to proceed to make the 2 back legs. So I'm going to take this, kind of, see I'm kind of pulling and stretching on it. And I'll show you the shape that we want here. Think of that boomerang. And then for the foot, just see I'm just kind of pulling that out like this. Just like that. And this is the shape that you want for the back leg. That's what it looked like from the front. That's what it looked like from the side. See how we created that little foot. And we'll proceed to make the last and final leg, and I'll show you how to make, we're going to make the toes. So we made that shape, just like that. And now we're going to take, see I'm kind of pulling on this like that, and flattening it. And that's how we'll make the feet. So the next step in the process is we want to take the toothpick now and see that the foot, I'll show you. So you go like this. You go 1, 2, 3. You have 4 little toes here. So now what you're going to do is you're going to stretch these out. See how I just kind of pull these out and make it almost look like a little finger. See that? Just take them, kind of pull it out a little bit like that. And then you proceed to go to the opposite side, do the same exact thing over there. See how I'm taking and pulling it to create that toe? And then these other 2 will do the exact same thing. You take and just kind of work that with your fingers. It's a little hard at times because you're working on a small scale, but I'll show you. See that now? See, you got those 4 little, they look like fingers, and those will be the alligator's like little toes. And I'll proceed to do the other one. And see, I'm making the other finger here. And I'll proceed to make the other one on the other side. just like that. See that? And then we'll make the two middle fingers. So we just kind of pull them out. And then what I'm going to try to do is kind of put them closer together. See that? Pretty cool, huh? And we'll do the same for the front. So we got one. See, I'm doing that. You do two. Didn't quite work the way I wanted it. Let me just reform it again. See, this is the beautiful thing about the clay. If you don't do something right the first time, just make that little foot again. And then we start again. So you do 1, 2, 3. So there's four little toes, and now we'll stretch those out. And then we'll work and we'll make all 4. Isn't that cool? And we'll do the last and final one. So you do 1, 2, 3. That way you have the 4 toes. And I'll pull this out quickly. See, I'm just pulling that toe out. And then I'll flip it to the other side. And you work that, kind of pull on it. Pull that out to the side. And then in the 2 middle ones, just kind of work them. And see how that kind of looks? So now what we do, now that we've made those, is you kind of put them together like that. Next, what I want to do is I want to add the legs to the crocodile. So we'll take these legs, you see this here? We'll just take this and kind of push it in right about in this spot here. And then on the other side, in approximately the same location, we will take and put this right here on the crocodile. Just like that. And then we'll proceed to put the rear leg here, right here, and just kind of work that in like that. See, I'm kind of working that clay into the crocodile like that. And then we'll proceed to put the last and final leg on the other side. I'll make sure that that's in the same location. See this? Just take, just kind of work it from both sides. See, I'm just kind of working that, just like that. And we're almost done. What I want to show you is, I'll show you just like one side. On the tail here, we want to take and go down make lines down the tail here like this. And then we want to go crisscross again. Try to make the scales a little smaller. See, I'm kind of crisscrossing like that. Just like that. And you do that all the way down the tail. In another place we'll do it, as I'll just show you on this side of the crocodile, we'll make lines on the legs here. Just kind of make the lines like that. And then what you want to do is you want to crisscross to make those scales. See that? You're going to do that to all 4 of the legs. Like that. And another area that you want to do is you want to do here and make more scales here. And then you'll cross again too. You'll do the crisscross. See that? It's a very easy way to make scales for the crocodile. See how nice that turned out? And I'll show you on what the finished crocodile should look like with all those scales. And if you want to proceed to make those scales on all four legs and do that crisscross like I had shown you. You want to make the scales here. You want to make the scales on the tail here. You can see those little like boxes. So this is what the finished crocodile will look like. See the top there? See how nice that is with the tail that we made? We made all those scales. And then you get the nice little ridges there. And you have the nice little toes. Try to see how you get the 4 little toes in each foot. And I'll show you what the next step in the process is. I'll just put this crocodile aside. We want to paint with acrylic paints. And these can be bought in any art store. There's about 18 in this package. And what I like about them, they're water-based. So when you get the paint on your hands, you can wash it off very easily. And we will take, and I'll show which colors that we want to use. We want to use, it almost looks like a beige, and this can be for the lower part of the crocodile. We're going to use black, and then we're going to use green. And I'll show you what we'll do, and then I want to get my brush I have a really nice brush now for doing the eyes. I want to get that. See this size brush here? It's got a very fine point. You can barely see the tip of the brush, so that's great for doing the eyes. For doing the body, I want to use this size brush here, and because that's very good for doing that. Then I do want to get another brush, because when I do it down near the eyes, I want to do a little more close up, and we'll use this size brush here. So I'll proceed to show you what we'll do first. What we want to do is you want to do the side right here, go back and forth. We'll do the legs. So I'm kind of going back and forth. Just like that, so go back and forth. Do this side here. Back and forth, we'll do the leg. You kind of want to have two tones. This is going to be the lower part of the crocodile. It's going to have the tan type color. And then what I want to do too is I want to paint these toes that we made this tan color. Let's see, so I'll try to flip it. So see that? I want to make sure we paint them like that. And I'll paint the underside of the chin with this color. And if you want, you can paint the underside of the crocodile with this tan color also. See, I'm kind of painting that underneath there. And I will show you how to do I think we'll do the eyes next. So we'll take the very fine brush, and we're going to do the eyes and the black toes. So I'm going to take this right here. So I take this very fine brush, and I'm going to put it right in the eye here. Just like that. See that? And we'll proceed to do the other side in the same manner. So take and put that in there. Just kind of rotate it around. Just like that. See how nice that came out? And then what I'd like to do is we want to do the toes on the feet. So let me see, I'll try to put it at the right angle. See, just dab the end, just like that. And we'll do all 4 the toes. And I'll show you how to do the back ones. I'll move this here. See how we just dab the end, just like this. Hope you can see that. And the next thing that we will do is we'll paint the green color. I'm going to take, and we'll paint the top part. See how we'll paint the top of the snout? And then you want to paint the back, that color. See how I'm painting that? Now for the eyes, I did have that other brush because this one's too big to, just kind of just paint it like that, go back and forth. And we're going to paint the entire back of the crocodile. See that? We'll do the green for the scales up top. Paint that there. Paint down the tail. And we're going to just dab that at the top. Just like that. Going back and forth. And I want to show you why I wanted that other little brush. See this brush here? When we do around the eyes, I wanted something smaller. So we can just get around the eyes here like this. See that? That way I don't have to redo the eyes. If you use a smaller brush, it's easier to work with. So I will show you what the finished crocodile should look like. And this is the finished crocodile. See the toes? They have the black tips with the black paint. You can see this one too. You want to do that on all 4 feet. And then the tan color, you want to use that for the underside and the side of the tail here. See how I use that? And then for the green, you put that in the top part of the crocodile, like we had. And see the eyes, how they got the nice black. And that's what your crocodile should look like when it's finished. And I do want to thank you for coming to Creations in Clay tonight. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. Goodbye for now.